views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and BronxNet's Open BXRX. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet if you want to. In fact, coming up on today's show, we'll speak to an entrepreneur and author to learn about her latest work. And then we'll hear from the founder of an organization that is providing a major service within the Hispanic community. After that, we'll hear from a fitness instructor. Oh, he'll work you out. We'll speak about how we can maintain health and wellness. And then Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. And then we'll speak to two international musicians who will speak about their rise to stardom and the journey they've taken along the way. So stay tuned. All of this and more is all in the works, on deck, coming your way. That's what's up right here on Open. How are you? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, your host, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive broadcast that brings New York City and, of course, BronxNet straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Now, leading things off, our first guest is a former healthcare worker, entrepreneur, and author of the book, Say No More. She joins us today to speak about the work she is doing in our Black and Brown communities. Please welcome to the show, Maria Trusa. Maria, how are you?
Hi, Bob. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me in your show. It is always a privilege. I always say this. It is always a privilege for me to be able to continue spreading the mission of my movement and talk about my story and with the hope that I am a catalyst to people that have gone through trauma. Thank you.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about your story, Maria.
Yeah, so Bob, I come from the Dominican Republic, Dominicana. I was born and raised there, and I had a really traumatic first 10 years of my life. I look at my life as decades, and the first decade has been so far, I'm 56, and for me has been the most traumatic and more difficult decade. So as many immigrants, my mom had to come to New York because my father, unfortunately, was an alcoholic, and she had 5 kids, and she was not able to support us. And at the age of 9, because I want people to write the book, so I'm not going to be able to tell you my story in this little bit of time that we have here, but I describe everything in the book. The biggest story is that at the age of 9, my father, who is supposed to be my protector, and I'm the only girl out of 5 kids, came home in the middle of the night with witchcraft men in the Dominican Republic. During that era, believe it or not, they were sacrificing kids.
What did they call it? Did they call it spiritita or something like that?
Sí, brujos. Son
brujos.
So they were taking my little brother that was 4 years old, and I started screaming, and I said, "You can't take him." My father then said, "Then you go." So he took me.
Wait, you go where to be sacrificed?
Then I didn't know, obviously, at the age of 9, I had no clue what they were going to do to my little brother. So he asked, he said, "Then you're going to have to go." I had no clue where I was going. I had no clue what was going to happen to me, but I knew I was scared, obviously. So my father takes me with the men, the brujo, and he took me to his house, and the men took me where he did witchcraft, and Sanitario, they call it in Spanish. And he forced me to drink a bottle of whiskey at the age of 9. After that,
the whole bottle.
The whole bottle. And he gave me some pills. I don't know what he gave me, but he told me before I became intoxicated that whatever was going to happen, if I ever said anything, I will be killed and my family will be killed. I ended up that night in a motel. He brutally raped me the entire night. I woke up in the morning and I could hardly walk. I was bleeding. I tried to go to the bathroom. I had to hold on to the wall because I could not walk. And when I went to the bathroom, I knew I was raped. And I could hardly get up. I fell on the floor in the bathroom, and then I had to get up, and I was afraid to go back out because now I was really conscious. And when he did this, I was halfway conscious, but I felt the pain, and he destroyed me. He destroyed me inside, and not only inside, but he destroyed my life. He destroyed my innocence, and I had to carry this on with me for many years of my life, for many decades of my life. And that's how my life started.
So has this helped you by putting the pen to the paper and putting it all out on paper and getting it out of your mind and then speaking to others about it?
Yeah, so I started a healing process when my father actually, he was my son, my first son was my catalyst. At the age of 19, I was pregnant and I had my son, Franco. And I realized when Franco was born that I was extremely broken because I couldn't connect to this boy. I couldn't connect to my son. One night, I talk about it in the book. I took my son and I shook him because he couldn't stop crying. And I threw him in the bed and my son fell on the floor. I almost killed my son. And that was it for me. This was the catalyst to start this journey process, this healing process that took me years. So the answer to your question is the book is basically a product of my children asking me to not go without telling the story because I've healed and I still deal, we never heal fully. We always have to work at this, but I have a beautiful life and very successful children. And more than anything, Bob, it's that I found this inner peace that I've been searching for. And at my 50s, I say I arrived. Like I arrived to where I wanted to be, where my past doesn't define me. So the book obviously was really therapeutic for me. And now is a book that is making a difference in many people's lives.
Wow, Maria, you've been through some traumatic times there. Wow. And I'm glad you have come out on the other side of it and you're able to help others with that. Tell us a little bit about the Scarsdale Medical Group that you're working with.
So I worked at Scarsdale Medical Group for 27 years. 26 years of my life, actually, I spent there. I was a medical assistant, ended up in 2 years being a manager. And in 4 years, I was the executive director for the rest of my career there. But I've decided in 2015 that I was leaving, and I always had this. I've been a mission person. Like I love helping people, and I think that's why I got into healthcare. So in 2015, I ended up leaving because I was going to create a medical center dedicated to the Latino community with a very strong focus on the undocumented population, people that don't have insurance. And we have been able to make a long story short, because that's one of my mission. And I know my business partner will be talking about Formé later on in your show. And for me, Formé is one of the first mission, the big mission that I realized I was put on this planet to do. I have a purpose. I have many purposes. And the purpose of helping the undocumented population is one of those very dear to my heart. So to make a long story short, I am here 5 years later. We have over 30,000 patients. And and we're very proud of that. We help many people without insurance. We created a medical membership for the uninsured community. So it's been wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. And tell us a little bit about your hunger. I know you want to move on and do something. Tell us about that.
So I've decided that when I started speaking about my book, and we did the launch of my book, and I ended up speaking in different speaking engagements, as I was speaking, people were coming to me and telling me that they were raped. And
wow.
I have a house in Vermont, and I use this house many times to bring a lot of women that you ski.
Yeah.
I go to Vermont in Killington. I have a place about 10 minutes from Killington where I've been going there for the past 20 years, but I have this house 5 years ago. And it's a house where I bring, especially women Latinas that I want to empower and show them a different way. So when I was there with about 10 women and we were in the jacuzzi and I started telling them my story, and 8 out of the 10 women were raped when they were kids. 8.
And they held it in, and now was the time to bring it out. Probably for the first time.
Yes. And so I want to be the voice for the voiceless. And that is the reason I've created a movement that's called Yo Digo No Más. Today, we have our first board meeting. It's big. This movement will be big. I've been working on this for about a year. We have a show that is a movement show. It's Yo Digo No Más show with me. And I have my niece who is a doctor in psychology that is my co-host. And the idea of the show and the idea of the movement is to create a platform where people can start telling their stories. Because if we don't speak up and we don't break the silence, this vicious generational cycle of sexual abuse in interfamily will not stop. It is such a serious issue, but the problem is that we are uncomfortable talking about it. I call it the uncomfortable truth.
Yeah.
And I even see it, Bob, when I do posts and I talk about sexual abuse, my posts hardly get any likes. I could do a post of me eating with my fiance and we get tons of likes because people are uncomfortable talking about sexual abuse. But this is a silent pandemic that is affecting our Latino generations and is destroying.
Yo digo no más.
Yo digo no más. I say no more.
I say no more.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Where can we go to get more information on all this enlightening stuff that you're doing in our community, helping others to realize some of the hurt that they've been through and bringing out some of that trauma that they've experienced in their lives?
So we have a website for Yo Digo No Más, yodigonomas.com. I have a personal website, mariatrusa.org, and you can get all the information if it makes it easier because everything is connected. You can get my book in my website. You can go to Amazon. The book is in Spanish, in English. It's in Audible in Spanish, and we're working on the Audible in English that is going to come out next month. I also do a podcast that I put on, it's on Spotify, it's on Anchor, and on my website. And the idea of the podcast is I reflect every day. So I share my reflections because we tend not to reflect. And so I invite all of your audience to connect with me and follow me on social media. Yo Digo No Más has an Instagram. Maria Trusa has an Instagram too. And Formé too. Formé.
There you go. Maria, tell me where to go in Spanish. Briefly, you got 30 seconds.
Okay. Pueden ir a nuestra página web, yodigonomas.com. También tenemos la página de Instagram de Yo Digo No Más y el Facebook page de Yo Digo No Más y mariatrusa.org, O-R-G.
There you go. All right. Say it again. Yo digo no más.
I say no more. This is our sign. I say no more.
There you go. Maria, thank you so much. We love you and thank you for all that you're sharing, okay? And you're always welcome back.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
How do you say in Spanish, my house is your house?
Mi casa es tu casa. Thank you.
Exacto.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Take care.
All right, we'll take a break right here. We got more open coming up next. Don't move a muscle. We've got it going on for you. Welcome back. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS in Bronx Nets Open. Our next guest is the founder and president of a facility called Formé Medical Center and Urgent Care. And she joins us today to provide insight on the affordable healthcare services for her center. She's providing that service for her members of the Hispanic community of White Plains. So please welcome to the show, Gina Cappelli. Hey.
Hey.
How are you, Gina?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. It's a
Good.
beautiful day.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to create Formé Rehabilitation Incorporated?
So I started the company actually back in 1998, and it was a physical therapy center. I had two centers.
Yeah.
And as the healthcare started to evolve and doctors, insurance companies started squeezing the doctors started to open their own centers. So I have something called an Article 28 Diagnostic and Treatment Center license. So it allows me to do everything. I always wanted to open an urgent care. And so as business started to diminish because of doctors opening their sites, I decided to open a medical center. So I opened Formé Medical Center in April 2014. It's almost 7 years this April.
And I hear it's very successful. You got especially during the pandemic, you had long lines out there, huh?
Yeah, you had to be creative. During the pandemic, we closed our shop, just like most companies did. We were doing telemedicine, but as you know, our patients aren't very technically, a little technically challenged. So having telemedicine was a little difficult. So we had to be creative, and we had to find the need. We realized what the need was, and we had to fit the company for the need.
Yeah. What are some of the other services that you have for your patients?
Well, we have walk-in urgent care. We have primary care, GYN, podiatry, neurology, cardiology, and now we have a full COVID center as well.
There you go. Excellent. And so here you go. 7 years. Wow. You've come a long way. Looking back, what are some of the toughest things the toughest challenges that you had to go through?
I think most of our challenges was probably with the insurance companies. Insurance companies treat you like you're a peon. We're not a big hospital, we're a small business, and they treat you like you're a small business. So that's where we really struggled. We found our niche with the community that is underserved and does not have healthcare. And we've become the resource center for these patients.
Yeah. And that's great. We need services and people like you in our community to help. And you serve mostly women?
No, we're across the board, but we're 85% Hispanic. Okay. 15% non-Hispanic.
Mm-hmm. What do you have coming up that we should know about? Anything special?
Well, with the pandemic, with the pandemic, we were able to become creative, and our business tripled in size. Maria and I have been looking for the next location to put a Formé, and we realized that Yonkers, the downtown Yonkers area, is the exact place that we need to be. So we're in the process of negotiating a lease right now, and we'll be hopefully down in the downtown portion of Yonkers by the summer, we're hoping.
Oh, we need to bring some Bronx cameras up there to document everything that you're doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's really no place for the people to go. There's a urgent care site probably about a few miles away in Getty Square. But besides that, it's the hospital. So we'll pretty much be the only show in town to help these, everyone down there.
Gina, how did you meet up with Maria Trusa?
Oh, my partner. Maria was as the executive director at Scarsdale Medical Group for 26 years. And ironically, her son was my marketing. He was working with me in marketing when I was first opening Formé Medical Center. And I knew Maria because I used to solicit business from her doctors. They had, 50 doctors. So I used to solicit business from them, so I knew her, but we didn't really know each other, if you know what I'm saying. And then when her son told me that she was looking to do something else and leave, I was the first one to reach out to her and say, I have the center. I know what you want to do. Let's do it together. So it's almost like that expression, if you build it, they will come. I always say that. I built it, she came, and we're a dynamic duo together.
There you go. The 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
All right. So that's great. You guys are going to be doing some great things. And I'm going to try to make sure, we'll see what we can do to bring our BronxNet cameras out there to document some of the things that you're doing in the future. And then you always got to come back and share, give us some updates. Okay.
We definitely will. We definitely will. We're very excited about the possibilities in the future for Formé.
Yeah. So Gina, tell us more about the membership that you have there.
So for $1 a day, they get unlimited urgent care services. For $2 a day, they get unlimited urgent care and primary care services. So we are a full service center for people that are uninsured. That's
a fantastic membership package right there.
It really is. And we've negotiated with all specialists outside of our facility, so we get them the lowest price possible for other specialty work. Listen,
Gina, where can we go to get more information about your organization? What
well,
you guys are doing?
You can go to the website at www.formemedicalcenter.com. You can also call us at 914-723-4900, or you can come visit us at 7-11 South Broadway in White Plains.
And the name of your organization again is?
Formé Medical Center, the affordable center for all.
With Gina Cappelli. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. We've got more coming up next on Open. Welcome back. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Our next guest is a fitness instructor and the founder of LH Transformations. He's been here before. He's no stranger to the show. He joins us today to share the latest fitness challenge he is offering to members of his gym and beyond, as well as to speak about the importance of health and wellness. So please welcome to the show my man, Larry Hamilton. Larry.
Hey, good morning. How's it going? Thanks for having me back.
Oh, you're always welcome, man. So you have this challenge going on. What do we have to do to get involved?
Yeah, so we are very social on our social media. So where we do challenges now, it's simply log in to our Instagram page. Every Friday, we have a game called Fitness or Fluff. The challenge is, it's a game show. You can chime in tomorrow. It's a lot of fun. Tomorrow, Fridays at noon. And fitness or fluff, we ask you a question, you have to pick either true or false. And it's one way that we like to educate people that's beyond the fitness studio. So that's how you get involved in our challenges this month.
And how do you win?
How do you win? You get them all right. And if you can make it a game for yourself, make it a game for yourself. If you get one wrong, maybe you can knock out some push-ups or some squats. Or if you get it right, knock out some push-ups or squats. But it's more about teaching people about wellness. Besides the physical thing, there's so many components to exercise that we're kind of missing out. And we want to get people ready as gyms begin to expand their service sizes for members and patrons.
Yeah. And Larry, gyms are open again. They're letting them open up again. What are some of the challenges that you face and how are you going to approach that?
Yes, it's been a huge challenge. I think it's stretched any fitness business owner to, how do you serve the community? As of right now, we're lucky enough, we're actually expanding our offerings. So right here, right now, this is where we do the personal training space of 1 to 4 people. But right behind me, we're opening up those doors outside gym over 1,200 square feet of space. We're thinking about everybody, you know, some people might not want to work out indoors. Over 24 people can work out there safely.
That's great. All right, so you're going to do some exercises today?
Well, today, the exercises I want to do, I would like to exercise the mind and get people ready. You know, people are going to jump into this, you know, the weather, we're getting some good weather. We got a glimpse of summer a couple of days ago. It got really hot. So I want to just educate some people on how they can stay active. I know that people are going to hit the gyms hard. I want to give a small tip for training when you're training indoors. Of course, when you're training indoors, you have to wear a mask. And we notice when you're wearing a mask, it's different when you're doing a HIIT workout. So what we give all our members, this is just one of those things you put in the front.
Good idea.
Put it on, all right? Put that on like that. Doesn't disrupt the workout. You can breathe a little easier.
Great idea, because when that gets wet, you can't breathe at all. So you want to pull the mask down like that. It's tough. I know.
And we're pushing it. We're really pushing you in here. So we want to make sure all our members coming in could breathe. That's the most important. After that, we're giving everyone here, it's called a body fitness consultation. We're getting kind of nerdy. We're teaching you about something called a caloric deficit. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I write like a doctor, but I'm going to try to explain some of this. This might be backwards on when I present this. But I just want to share that 3,500 calories equals 1 pound of fat. So if you're working out, do you work out with a heart rate monitor? Anyone that works out, if you have a heart rate monitor, you're tracking calories. Just know that you want to burn up to this every week or so. You know you're burning actual fat. And then it's not water, it's actual fat. And then I created a little diet for you. This is how your plate should look. Proteins, veggies, fats.
There you go.
Help you out, keep you at a caloric deficit. And this is something that we go through when people come in, we put them on a consultation. We teach them about their body. Hey, you come into a consultation and it shows that you burn 2,200 calories a day. I go, hey, Bob, I need you to eat 1,900 calories. And we put you on that diet plan that works best for you. So you're not just kind of like wishing and wondering what's going on.
I'm glad you do that, because a lot of people say, hey, you know, the gym's open, let's go. And then they do what they do, and then they pull a muscle, and then that's it. So how do you start if you haven't been doing it for a while?
If you haven't been doing it for some time, it's best to plan ahead. Make sure maybe on Sundays, Mondays, whatever day is good for you, get your meals in order. Because I think the easiest part, once you show up to a gym, we're going to get you going. But you can, like you said, you're going to get really sore. So you want to fuel up. So make sure you have a day that you can go shopping for those foods. And you have them readily available to you. If they're not, you can end up snacking and going up over that 3,500 calories. That's how you end up gaining weight. So it's planning first. And my tip, once again, is having that food available for you on a Sunday, Monday, whenever you can plan, go shopping, make sure the food's in your house.
And do not eat right before you're going to work out.
You can. That's it. That's a great. So we'll probably have that on Fitness or Fluff. You can. It's what you eat. So a piece of fruit 30 minutes before workout is great glucose, great sugar. It's going to give you that boost. 90 minutes before you work out, go ahead and have a full-blown meal. 90 minutes, your digestive system can be great. You might have a powerful workout from that food you ate. So 90 minutes right before, I wouldn't have that like potatoes and steak.
I know when I was boxing, you couldn't. You don't want to go in there and be kind of full, you know. Right. You kind of get in trouble. You want to empty out as much as you can.
Exactly. And with that empty out, I'm glad you said that. A lot of people are working out hard. They're going to see quick results. If you're pushing hard, you're boxing, you're going to lose weight. You're going to see the weight come off. It's going to be exciting. Chances are it's water weight, and I don't want you to plateau. So I want you to have that in mind. You will lose weight, and I do want you to use it as momentum. Great, you lost the weight, but it's actually just water weight. Ways to keep that going, as I said, put you at a caloric deficit. So make sure, if you're going to work out and this is what you want to do for the summertime, just understand your body type. We can definitely help you out, put you on a body consultation and just tell you where your calories should be. So you're not just losing water weight.
How have you operated during the pandemic? I know we spoke a couple of times before, but how did you make out?
So we made out. We opened up September 16, 2020. We had the opportunity to open up because we're a small-based gym. Personal training, 1 to 4 people, 45-minute classes. And how we're doing it right now, we have an amazing virtual platform. I'm talking about we play music, we have timers, we're really interactive, sometimes virtual backgrounds. And that's how we really made out. The biggest component was community meetup. So we might do a social distance 5K or a virtual 5K to get, people want to see their friendly friends and whatnot. or do a 5K in that nature. But it's just been working out in here, keeping it really spacious, virtual workouts, and then once a month we're doing a community event for our community.
You do the outdoor things. I know you were in the parks a lot when we first started speaking a couple of years back. You did a lot of things out in the park.
So we're actually doing something pretty awesome. April 11th, Sunday, April 11th, we're going to do something called a blast from the past, because we're kicking off something pretty huge called the Fit Pit. I want to show you in a bit. I'll take my computer out there. We are building one of the Bronx's biggest outdoor gym. And April 11th, we're going to do something called the Urban Workout at Pelham Bay Park, where everyone can come out, work out with us for like the last time at Pelham Bay Park, because we have our own outdoor space that we can do everything outdoors. Can I show you the outdoors?
Yeah. Show us a little bit. Yeah.
All right. I think I can keep you here. And I'm going to give you a little glimpse. It is under construction, but look at that right there. That's our awning. And those blue mats are going to be 1,000 square foot of mattage. You can imagine so many people working out safely. We're going to put an awning over that. So if it rains, you can still work out and have a great time. And we're outdoors, keeping it safe, because I know that's top of mind for most people.
Where are you located now?
Yeah, so we're in Bronx Neck, and we're at 4041 East Tremont, right inside a restaurant called Muscle Maker Grill. So if you're coming to get some food inside Muscle Maker Grill, that's one of the entrances to our gym. You can get some food and power through one of our workouts.
I like that. So Tremont transformations.
We're going to transform Tremont for sure. Yeah.
That's good. Where can we go to get more of what you're doing? You didn't show us anything today, though.
Yeah, I can give you some tips. So I want to help people out, because I know you guys are going to hit it extremely hard, and this is the season where people get injured. So I'm going to give you some injury prevention tips. But you can find us on social media at LH_transformations. Put it as one word, www.lhtransformations.com, and you're going to get the full gambit of what we do. But since I know it's hot out, it's getting there, people want to go. Injuries happen. I don't want you to get injured. I want you to be successful. 2020 is one of those years you want to leave in the past. And here's some tips you can do. Right before you go for your class or your run. And it's all about ankle mobility. I don't know if you ever twisted your ankle before.
Oh, boy.
What you can do, right? Isn't that annoying when you twist your ankle? So you talk about challenges at the beginning. How long can you do a single leg balance? If you're really good, you can juggle something in place, and then you can pepper it into your warm-up. So literally standing on one foot may seem crazy, but you can just do this for as long as you can. What's happening here, you're strengthening those muscles in your ankle. That muscle in your ankle is called your anterior tibialis muscle. That's the one that gets kind of like sprained all the time. We put people into that all the time. They think it's silly in the beginning, but they're not injured. So that's tip number one. Tip two, ready? This one right here, they call it, not me, they call it the best stretch in the world. So you're gonna find yourself in what we call the high plank, and you're gonna step that foot up. Now you're gonna get two stretches here. You're gonna go to a trunk rotation of your chest and get a hip rotation and get your hip. So this is called one of the best stretches in the world. It's actually called a plank runner stretch. If you want more of this stretch, you put the hip up like this, and you come down.
Let me try that.
Let's see what you got there.
Ready?
So this is one of those things that you can do right before activity. You look so good. Great form.
We got to try this side. Wait a minute.
Got to make it even. You don't want to walk out with a limp. Absolutely.
There you go.
So those are two things to remember.
What's that?
Balance, right? You want to make sure the joints are ready, and then stretching. Now, let's get the heart rate up. Whatever you're going to do, this is a simple drill you can do. I like it. It's one of my favorite moves. It's called an ice skater. So typically, Bob, you and I, we always walk forward and backwards. We're never like going to the side unless you're like dancing or whatnot. So I like putting people into many directions. So do an ice skater before you go side to side like this. Soft bounce, you can do it in a small space, big space. Set a timer for 1 minute to get the heart rate up. So we got 3 tips you can do. Make sure the ankles are good. Find your plank, do the best stretch in the world, and then get the heart rate up. You'll be ready for your workouts, and you're preventing those injuries from happening.
I love it. Where do we go again for more information?
Yes, please. Let's get social. Let's go. Let's talk on Instagram on LH_transformations. Every Friday, we have a game show called Fitness or Fluff. Come play, come learn some things about fitness. Or if you could just want to dive in to see what we do in total, www.lhtransformations.com. We have everything up there. And we can schedule that body consultation to learn more about your caloric deficit and body type.
LH Transformations, Larry Hamilton. Thank you so much. Larry.
Thank you.
You're into sports too, right?
Absolutely.
All right, stick around. Bobby C has the latest in sports coming up next right here on BronxNet.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
It's always cool when you can show how old you are getting on the show. Our guest this morning actually played varsity baseball for me at Salesian High School in New Rochelle. Today, he's leading young men himself here in the Bronx as the junior varsity coach at St. Raymond High School for Boys. We welcome Tommy Cannella to open. You know, Tommy, I don't know who should feel older, if it's me or you.
I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, it's been a long time since we went to those Yankee games.
Absolutely. You know, it's so great to see that you have gone from being a player to being a coach, and I could see that you have practice going on behind you, which is really cool. You're gearing up for the spring season. What's the forecast for St. Ray's JV baseball this spring?
All right, sounds good. So, you know, after that 1.5-year delay, we're looking forward to a really strong start here. We got guys that are definitely rested for sure. So that's been good getting them back on the field this week. We're in a very competitive division. So the divisions got released yesterday. So we're looking forward to having a nice competitive spring season, getting in as many games as we possibly can, and mixing in the competition with some non-league schedule.
So best players, best position players, best pitchers that you have on the roster coming into the spring.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking forward to a nice starting rotation. That starting rotation will be led by Danny McCrink, who is going to be a sophomore here at St. Raymond's. He's also going to be playing the infield for us. We have a very strong middle infield led by shortstop Ethan Ortiz. And we have about 4 to 5. We're about 4 to 5 pitchers deep. And we have 2 catchers that are really solid right now. So looking forward to being defensively sound. Don't know how the bats are going to be yet. So we haven't had much offensive practice. But defensively sound is going to be one of the fundamental things that we try to do here.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy, I guess the big question, of course, would be is how tough has it been to manage a high school baseball team during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, it's been extremely hard. And as you know, at St. Raymond's with our community, we had the loss of varsity coach Mark DeLuca. And that has been, it's an absolute tragedy. And our prayers go out to him and his family as they continue to deal with that terrible loss. For us as a community here at Raymond's, we've been affected not only by COVID, but by his passing. And Ben Aguirre is the AD who took on the interim head coaching position for the time being. And the number one priority we have is trying to get these kids some sort of baseball this spring and lead them through this tragedy.
Yeah, and Tommy, I feel like, we talked about it on the show. There's definitely signs of progress. I mean, whether it's the announcement from the PSAL that high school athletics will be returning in a couple weeks, or just even all of the good news that seems to be coming even from the professional ranks when it comes to fans being at the ballpark, like opening day, to see some fans out at Yankee Stadium will be great, even if it is a reduced crowd.
Yes, I agree. And I think the whole entire New York City baseball community will be pleased with the change of weather, getting outside and seeing baseball being played at all different levels. And I really hope that on the high school level, that we could avoid the COVID outages that we've seen in college basketball, and hopefully we can avoid that as more people get vaccinated and as more people are knowledgeable of how to stay safe. And I hope that continues and we can finish our season and look forward to playoffs in June.
And Tommy, like I said, it's pretty cool to have this interview with you because I feel like there's so many similarities for us both. Both of us growing up in the Bronx, both of us played first base at Salesian High School,
Yep.
won city championships as players, won city championships as coaches. And now even these days, you're still coaching and you're still teaching. You're also a teacher at St. Ray's. And even though I've kind of bypassed coaching baseball, I coach broadcasting these days. So
Yeah.
I'm still teaching myself and coaching. Now I said, broadcasting. But, for me, there's just so much of a tremendous good feeling about being able to give back to young people. And I wanted to get your thoughts about what it's been like to kind of coach some of these young men that very much were like you, aspiring to play baseball in the Bronx.
Yeah. For me personally, the last 5 years of baseball career has been, quite tipsy and turny. I was at Salesian for quite some time, then moved on to Queensboro Community College as a hitting coach. Then I was lucky enough to coach my own program at the Division III level at the College of New Rochelle. And unfortunately, that school went bankrupt, and my opportunity here opened up. So, to answer your question directly, the life lessons that we teach through the sport of baseball is what has been paramount, whether the student athlete is 13 years old or the student athlete is 27 years old. It doesn't change. You're still teaching the game of baseball as a foundation for how they're going to live their life. And that's what we would want years past. For years going forward, we'd like to see players that are modeled young men and grow up to be great husbands and great fathers and great assets to their community. And if we can do that through the game of baseball, then we succeeded no matter how many wins we have or no matter how many losses we have.
Tommy, give me some of the best players on the roster. Give me some of the best matchups. When is opening day, and who will be some of the toughest opponents that you face this spring?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of our toughest opponents will always be Fordham Prep, and we're lucky enough to be in their division. As we found out the other day, we'll be matched up against them 3 times. Fordham Prep has always been a team that is very formidable. They always can hit, and they always have good pitching. So like I said to you before, defense has to be sound. That's the number one thing we have to do in order to compete against a team like that, is we have to keep their runs to a minimum and keep our opportunities to score at the optimum level. So like I said, there's some questions with our offense right now, but we're practicing to shore up the defense. If we do that, then we can compete against teams like Fordham Prep.
And again, we had mentioned too about how the public schools are coming back. What has the process been like for the Catholic schools? Because I've seen that some of the programs, even in Westchester County, finally getting back to business this spring. And that includes other sports too, like football and basketball. I mean, I can't imagine, we talked about it on the show too, a university like Fordham finally playing their first football game at the end of March, as opposed to the season being over, let's say in November.
Yeah. So luckily for us, our schedule really hasn't been interfered with too much. We're about 15 days later than we normally would start. We're looking to get into the same amount of games, probably in the range of 14 to 18 games within the league. And a playoff seems to be extended to about 8 to 10 teams. So for us, we're not too affected by that. We were able to start up relatively soon after our start date. Normally is about the first Saturday in March, would be the first legal practice day. And it was this Monday for us. So we're not too far off. And to be honest with you, we avoided some of the colder weather.
Yeah, Tom, I've always thought, that there's a tremendous amount of good baseball played here in the Bronx, and it's hard enough as is because of the weather. I mean, a lot of players in the Northeast, of course, don't benefit from as many reps. That's why some of these guys that get drafted, tend to come from warmer weather climates, whether it's California or Texas or Florida. But there's some really good baseball players here in the Bronx.
Yes, absolutely. And one of my experiences as the head coach at College of New Rochelle was being able to recruit players from all around the country. We were recruiting from California and Florida and Puerto Rico. And what we found was some of the more mentally strong players were actually coming from New York City. And I think that's a testament to how it is to be brought up in New York City and the mental strength that it takes to go about your day and to do well in school, and the focus on, God, family, and baseball is really there for everybody. And it's a nice thing to see. That New York City has one of the better high school leagues in the country. And it's one of those things every year that 2 to 3, maybe even 4 or 5 players are coming out of the Northeast getting drafted from our league. So it's always been nice to see.
Yeah, I mean, St. Ray's would always have typically a couple ball players that were being looked at by the major leagues, guys that would potentially get drafted. Or if not drafted, they would end up going to high-profile Division I programs and then get drafted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the things the college coach always acknowledged when they're getting a player from New York City is they're going to be mentally and physically tough, and the character is going to be there. And the character there instilled by the coaching staffs of New York City have always been very strong.
Do the guys get on you? Like, do you still ever get in the cage and show them like, hey, coach is, coach can still hit here. I can get in here and swing the bat.
You leave it up as your A's up your sleeve, and you don't use it until you have to. But yeah, absolutely, there have been times, especially when they're not hitting the L screen in batting practice, you may grab a bat and teach them how to hit up the middle.
Well, Tommy, we're definitely a darn good baseball player. As a player, it was a pleasure coaching you 100 years ago. Excited to see that you're still coaching, that I'm still talking some baseball, even if it's in this role. So great to have you on the show this morning.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Best of luck with the season. We're looking forward to having some of these young players back on the fields where it matters most. I mean, COVID really robbed so many young players here in the Bronx of that opportunity to play. So it's exciting to get back to playing some baseball.
Absolutely, and so are we. The best stress relief you can have is competition. So we're looking forward to getting back on the field.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and we've got it going on for you. Our next guest is an international pop star, and she's joined by another international singer, songwriter, and actor. And they join us to speak about their journey as musicians and to rise to stardom. That's how they've done it, and they continue to do so. Please welcome to the show, Ayree and Diaz Mussalimov. How are you?
Hey, Dr. Bob.
Hi.
How are you? Guys are far away, but that's okay. We'll stay apart so we can come together.
Yes. Great seeing you again. Thank you for having us.
Oh.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
Where are you guys situated right now?
I'm in Astoria, in New York.
I'm in Kazakhstan, Almaty City.
Oh, amazing. Wow. So tell us about this wonderful journey. Who wants to kick it off?
Sure. I'll start. So basically, me and Ayree, we know each other since we were very, very little. I'm probably 4 years old. We grew up in the same city, same hometown, called Semipalatinsk, now called Formé, and yes. That's where we met, and that's where our journey began. So we met first time on the stage around that age, 4 years old, and since then we stayed in touch. And now we are a little bit bigger than 4 years old. And
Wait a minute. You met on stage at 4 years old. What production was it? Were you singing, dancing, acting?
Yes. Competition, yes.
Competition.
So. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I think it was competition in our whole town, and a lot of other talented singers, young people, and I don't know, but somehow we kind of kicked off, and then Ayree's parents, she's going to probably share more about it, but her parents are very established musicians in Kazakhstan, and
All right, thank you, Diaz.
Okay, so Ayree, give us a little bit about your history.
Okay,
your
thank
family's
you.
history. Your family, mother and father, musicians, right?
Yes. First of all, I was born in a musical family. My dad is a saxophonist. My mom is a former singer. She's often participated in different competitions. She's singer.
Yes.
She's coach, teacher of vocal.
All right.
Yes. And I've graduated musical school as instrumentals I'm instrumentalist. And after I finished musical Academy of Arts as vocal singer.
And so you do vocals and you play instruments. How many
Yes,
instruments do you play?
2 instruments is piano and national instruments, dombra.
Yes. All right.
Yes. And so I've been in music all my life.
Say that in your other language. I've been in music all my life.
Сказать на своем языке?
Да. Wait, it's just two. Wait. Say it
Менің
again. I can say it.
өмірім. Менің өмірім.
Say it again.
Менің өмірім. Өмірім, иә, музыкамен тығыз байланысты.
Musicalmente balestet.
Bravo, байланысты. Very good, very good.
Something like
Thank
that.
you. During 5 years, I'm working with producers.
Yes.
We've been working hard all this time, participated in different international competition, performance, and festivals. Now I have my dear, lovely fan club, Diamonds. And I know they are right now watching this interview.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's me. It's my history, my little history.
Well, there's more. Wait, there's more. Diaz, are you coming? Is she coming to the States, or how are you guys gonna meet up and perform again?
Yeah, Dr. Lee, we actually, had this plan for a while. It's kind of we're building up on it because definitely, quarantine made its thing because we had prior plans to the pandemic, but it actually gave us a little more time to work on the on the craft work, on the music, and prepare some some work that we will present here in the States. So definitely Ayree is coming to the States. It's just the matter of time. Right. We are at Bullion and Gerson Music together with Andre da Costa, Sandra da Costa.
Yes.
Working
the Bullion Foundation.
Bullion Foundation, definitely working to make this happen, because I think Ayree definitely is one of the most talented performer out from Kazakhstan, and I think her talent is deserved to be heard and to be seen out here in the United States.
All right. Oh my God. Genre of music are you performing in?
Thank you.
What kind of music, Ayree?
What kind of music? It's just pop music.
There you go. Ayree, who are some of the American artists that you enjoy listening to?
From childhood, my mother loved listening Whitney Houston. And
Whitney Houston.
Yes, and me too.
Oh, that's the greatest love of all.
Now I listen lots of different music. I listening her. I listening Celine Dion, like Ayree.
Look at that.
Oh, many Bruno Mars. I love this. Yes. Many more talented. Yes. Michael Jackson, Tony Braxton. Oh, it's more artists.
Yeah, those are some great artists that you mentioned. Are you guys performing together? Are you going to be singing something together?
Yeah, right now we are about to finish our first duet, first single together that I wrote for. I composed it a while ago for me and Ayree, and this song gonna be probably in different languages. Right now, it's cooking and finishing up in Russian, and then we believe that that's a single that can be definitely sung in different languages. So I think one of them will be English, and definitely that's what we would do.
Now, Diaz, you sang the national anthem at Madison Square Garden?
Oh yes, oh yes.
We were supposed to come there. You were supposed to invite us over there to check that out. Now you sang it in 2 different languages. You sang the American and you sang the Pakistan, right?
So what happened was that was around the same time when I performed national anthem of the United States at Madison Square Garden for the NHL Rangers game against San Jose Sharks. So that was a big honor for me, of course. And then like within probably a month, I had a privilege of performing a Kazakhstan national anthem at the Triple G Canelo fight in Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena.
Oh, it's very great performance.
Yeah. Ayree, you were there?
I'm listening and I'm watching this performance, and I'm so
okay. Yeah.
Wow, it's Diaz, it's my friend. Oh my God.
Ayree, you think we can get you to touch a little piece of a song, maybe? Just a little bit, just a little touch.
Little bit? Okay, in Kazakh language. Okay?
Okay.
Tağdan tayan bala, ay, tayan baydan bala bürgüdürgüden, tayan baydalı gayey, en son şay berbala. Hos yedek buran be valay soğar konar jer.
There you go. Beautiful voice.
Now, Dr. Bob Lee, you know what we're dealing with and how we really looking forward to have Ayree here in the States and perform.
Can't wait to see you.
You know, it's a great team. We're collaborating and bringing a lot of great stuff, working on a lot of great stuff, and we'll bring Ayree hopefully very soon to the States, and we'll perform together. And who knows, maybe it will be someday Madison Square Garden.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Ayree and Diaz Mussalimov, we appreciate you. Can't wait till you come to the States. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. We want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can check out the BronxNet TV continued coverage, all right? For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day, and always remember what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God, so choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. We love you all. Peace.